ChrisSeanForKaijuPup.com with Inferno 2, which already has a big black mark against it for not letting me listen to iTunes audio. Instead, we've got the dum of the game soundtrack, which is, there are worse soundtracks, but I don't know. The worst one was Penguin Breakout, which we looked at recently, and that didn't let you listen to podcasts or any other audio either. Jeez, get it into your heads, people. It's the most annoying thing. So 1 point off already, if I'm giving a point in this video, which I don't think I am. I'm going to start from scratch here because before I was playing on the easier difficulty setting because I suck at shooters, and I found it a little bit too soft, so let's go with one in the middle here. And, okay, well there you go. So you can see I got to level 15 on my first go. Radiant Games, despite my anger at them, absolute anger at not sorting out their their audio options on on their iOS games, despite the fact that these their games tend to be amongst the most customizable iOS games that there are. There's all sorts of techie options here for graphics and stuff, textures, UI textures, particles, ring detail, BG glows. That sounds exciting. Hey, let's turn them off and then turn them on again. This is a high level of customization. You'd have thought they'd let you do the same for audio, but no. Even if you turn sound effects and music off, if you then try and listen to your own audio, well, you get silence, so stitch you. But yes, despite my anger at them, they have made some very good stuff on iOS. Mainly things like Super Crossfire and games like that. Super Crossfire was very, very good. And Inferno, well received. Inferno Plus as well received. But I never played the first Inferno game, so Inferno 2 is my first time coming to this stuff. It's a twin stick shooter with RPG elements, so you're constantly getting experience points for everything you do, and then you trade in those experience points for extra weapons and things like that, rather than just getting whatchamacallits, you know what I mean, rather than just getting to the end of the stage. You have XP and you also have money with which to buy stuff at the shop, so RPG light. You get missiles, which I'm not going for a little bit, okay, and then if I hold down this virtual button next to the thumbstick, then you get to shoot missiles out. But for the first few levels, at least when I was playing on the easier setting before. I never really needed the missiles, so yeah, that's kind of one flaw I had, certainly with just messing around with it on the easier setting, was that there was no reason to use anything but this spread shot that I have here, even though the range is shitty. Did the job perfectly well, but I think that's something that will probably be fixed by me playing on a harder difficulty here, so hope so. And that's the first word of advice is sort that out. It looks quite pretty, doesn't it? There's neon going off everywhere, neon explosions. It sounds right, it's just the music in each set of levels, which are like 10 stages. You listen to the same little bit of music, and that's all probably that's playing here, because I have to dub the music on it afterwards, because iPhone 6s don't play nice with my computer, because iPhone 6s are way more powerful than my computer, believe it or not. And so wow, all of this stuff happens and it's all very pretty. It all kicks off, all that neon going off everywhere. The problem with it, even though I had to turn, I think I had to in round 4. Hang on, let's skip going to the pause menu here. Options, background brightness. I'm going to set that to high. It's actually originally set to low, I believe, the background brightness, and that's annoying because you have walls which are like highlighted by these bold blue lines, but you also have lower walls that you can shoot over, and it's really hard to distinguish one from the other if you're not playing, you know, in just an ordinary room. If you're outside and happen to be playing this game, it's really difficult to tell. So yeah, you get weapons to switch between. This spread shot is doing pretty well at controlling crowds here though at the moment, but I can switch between them and have a more focused approach, but I don't think that's really going to help me here. And you also level up from time to time. I think I got the level up thing level up over here. So I'm going to go in there and yeah, ship status. So you can level up each of your weapons, you can level up the missiles that you have, and level up powers, which are things you get a little bit later on. They're things like temporary speed boost, temporary damage boost, things like that. Enhancements as well, you can give a perk to. But improve your things, that's what I recommend. Increase damage and stuff like that on the spread shot, and stick with the spread shot. That works for me. So I clear through here, and yeah, it's all right. I think that's the thing though. It's all right. It's the same. You know, it is feeling a little bit perkier playing in normal than on easy, but my big problem with it is this. Because what I'm doing right now, because I guess of the RPG element of things, it's not a linear approach of, hey, here's the start of the level, here's the end of the level, go through and blow up everything on the level. It is more, hey, run around, find the key, get back, go to the exit. It's a bit more gauntlet-y. In fact, it is fairly gauntlet-like. You have things like, okay, I'll buy drones if you like. There's the little options that float around with me. Yeah, it is a bit Gauntlet-like, because I mean, Gauntlet had very RPG-light elements, and stuff like that. And there are secrets in here, just like there are secrets in Gauntlet. There are secret walls and things. But the problem I have with it is that because that non-linearity often means that you'll be blowing up enemies and then having to backtrack to get where you were and then get to the exit, and it just moves kind of slow. Like, this game is just kind of a bit dodgy and a bit slow and a bit stodgy, and that's weird, you know, from a team that made Velocity, I believe it was. Not Velocity. I'm thinking of something completely different. What did they make? Pause for the cause here. Fluid, that was it. Fluid, which came out on iOS a little while ago, and that was all about going quickly and finding ways to do that. And this is a game about going kind of slowly, shooting things, and that's a bit of a shame. I kind of wish it had a little bit more pep to it, a little bit more vavoom, and perhaps a little bit more character to the visuals. I mean, I know they're going for this neon, hey, you're a shooter, you're shooting stuff inside the machine kind of motif here. It just doesn't really ring true to me. The controls are okay. You've got twin virtual sticks, and each virtual stick has a couple of virtual buttons on either side of them for triggering your special abilities, which I haven't unlocked yet in this playthrough anyway. They do things like switch your weapons. Again, I have found no need so far in these early doors to use anything but the spread shot. They change your missiles. I did get to the point earlier on where I did have to use the missiles, but rather than because I was facing a fearsome foe, it was just that there's a type of enemy that will only be susceptible to missiles. So it was kind of a cheap way out of that situation for them. But, you know, I mean, it's alright, but I kind of think that's all it is. and of course I am predisposed to hate it because it won't let me listen to my fucking music. So I'm angry at that already. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know, it's fairly pretty. It's got a nice style to it. There's plenty of fine. There's plenty of content if you're into this kind of thing. It's just that. Yeah, if you compare it to even a lot of other Radiant games, it's kind of weird that this got a sequel and an update where Crossfire really kind of didn't, even though Super Crossfire was an awful lot of fun. Let's restore that, and probably recommendable over this, really, which, yeah. The twin sticks as well, another slight annoyance. Run into the door there, I wouldn't have been able to see that if I was waiting for a train. Another slight annoyance, yes, twin virtual sticks, which there were good ones, there were bad ones. These are not the best. For the most part, they handle fine, but they're not relative sticks. They're not positional sticks. They are just positioned. They're rooted in the bottom left and bottom right corner, and that means that, you know, if you take your thumb off the screen and then put it back on, then you might just miss the contact patch for your thumb, so you wind up having it, you know, locking your thumbs in a particular area. But, you know, I mean, for all of that, for the fact that it's not exciting, for the fact that it does dumb stuff, which should be illegal, should be. Not all walls are solid, so I bet I can go in there. No, I want to get, aha. Whoa, secret shortcut there. Hey, to the exit. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of inoffensive and just a little bit there, and a little bit annoying. I mean, there are times where it does get exciting, and that's cool when it throws a bunch of enemies on the screen. It's just in itself, it's a little bit uninspiring, and not even barely enough to make me head in here and pick. Yes, I will level up and get. Oh, I need 3 slots for that. Okay. I won't level up then. I will wait. I leveled up again. There we go. No. Increase damage per shot. 5 wide shots. There we go. Now upgrade my spready weapon to all heck. Every 5th stage is kind of sort of a boss stage, but it's not, because there's no bosses in the game. But it's kind of a, you know, destroy all of these energy cores kind of thing, and then every 10th stage it'll send you off to the next world, with you having to destroy a bunch of enemies within a certain time limit kind of thing. But there you go, I've been destroyed, so it is a good deal harder, at least on normal. I'd recommend it playing on normal, but I'm not sure I'd recommend playing it altogether. It's just, it's a little bit stodgy, and until they fix the fact that you can't listen to your own music, then I'm bound to hate it. It's our editorial code of contact at kaijupop.com. But yeah, that's Inferno 2. It's alright, really, and it is, I believe, $3 on iOS right now. Chris Trump for kaijupop.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.